were the
Same
same position. So we didn't compare anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we just all didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And as far as living, we lived in a house. I mean, and shared the food we had.
Yeah.
Anybody came and we'd always have an extra something they could have. And we lived in the city. And I do think that we were hit hardest.
City people.
Because my dad had a garage and people didn't have money to have their cars fixed. So there was weeks he had very little to do.
Yeah.
And that made it so much harder for people that lived in the city. And we did have friends that lived in Zanesville. And they gave me a electric arm. And at that time, that was a big thing.
For your wedding? That was for your wedding?
Well, I wasn't married then.
I mean, I thought that was for your wedding.
It was a wedding gift, but, and,
Glenfer.
are you still got on?
Yeah.
No.
What was considered, like, well off then?
People that had jobs, like, there'd be people on the railroad. The railroads had to go.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have a salary coming in.
The J's gonna stand for
So,
You were, how old, you were 16?
yeah. But I was employed at a dry cleaner's, and I got $15 a week, and my sister got 20. But we weren't able to keep any of that. We gave that to the family because there were 7 children. And your mother and dad, that was 9 people. So, and when you went to work, had to work on Friday night, regardless of how late it was, to get everything ready so it would be delivered on Saturday. And I think the dry cleaning was around 29 and 59 cents a garment. So, for entertainment, we had a Victrola.
Record player?
Yeah. And each one of our friends that had them would bring the old records over and we'd play them over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And really, and played cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like Flinch and some of those games. And then we would kind of take up a collection they like to come to our house, and they'd take up a collection, and we'd walk up to the corner and buy a gallon of skim milk, and my mother would make hot chocolate, or I would, for the crowd, and they always enjoyed it. We'd use cocoa. So,
what was your dinner? You usually
always, my mother was a wonderful baker, and she couldn't bake cakes, but she could bake good pies. And we had chicken on Sunday, about everybody did. And then during the week, my dad would walk down from Linden to the fairgrounds, and he'd get canned beef free. And I think my mother knew every way that you could fix canned beef that we liked. So, and our meals were no salads. We'd have like maybe a big pot of beans with some ham in it and a dish of peaches. And my mother baked bread, so we had homemade bread. And really, we enjoyed life. We learned to appreciate, and I think we really enjoyed life.
Yeah.
And
something, what's one thing that sticks out in your mind the most when you think about think that.
I think what I think back is we didn't have anything, but our friends. I mean, we had good friends, and we learned to do things together. We'd go to the creeks to swim, and if you really worked hard, you might get a dime to go to the picture show. They were 10 cents if you were short enough to get in. So, but I think really it taught us a lot, that you can do a lot of things and enjoy it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a lot of money. People not having anything, my brother ran off and got married, and on the way home, they went to Justice of Peace, and on the way home, they hit a chicken. The old car hit a chicken. They brought it home, cleaned it, and that was their wedding dinner.
Okay.
Also, my sister and I were invited to a dance, IWF dance hall out in Gahanna. And they were wearing longer dresses. And my sister didn't have the money to buy a long dress, so she cut a short one off, sewed it on the bottom of her coat, and danced all evening with the coat on.
Okay.